Welcome to an episode of How Cynnia Sees It. And as the title states, this is just how I see something, which is my personal opinion. So I'm your host, Cynnia, and let's get into it. So today we're going to be talking about the effects of domestic violence on the Black community. Domestic violence is basically when an intimate partner physically, emotionally, mentally, or sexually abuses their partner. And it's a rough power exchange because a lot of the times the victim is put down and made to doubt themselves and made to think that they deserve it. And domestic violence, I believe, could stem from like a more historical point because, as probably everybody knows, women were not always seen as equal. They were seen more as just objects for men. And so a lot of that, I think, has carried over now into modern day and modern society. And especially in the Black culture, like in a lot of cultures and like religious beliefs, women are meant to be like submissive and docile toward their husband and let them have the final say in a lot of decisions. And I think that has also played a large part in allowing the abuse to rise up and take a space, because a lot of the time, like I said, the victim is made to think that they deserve it, or they brainwash themselves to think they deserve it because they can't wake up and face reality that the person that they fell in love with is no longer there, because the person they fell in love with wouldn't put their hands on them, or it could have been a cascade from the beginning, and they wanted to lure the victim in before they finally struck. And with domestic violence, it's like a never-ending cycle, a loop. First the abuser builds tension, there's arguing and yelling. They might hit a wall near your head or so, and then that's when, the first strike happens. Whether it be physical or verbal. They call you a name they haven't called you before. They say something to you, or they say something that'll mess with your head, that they know will mess with your head, or they'll even go straight just to sexually abusing you. And then, they'll come back, they'll apologize. You'll say, it's just an apology. They make up for it, get you all these gifts. And then it's just calm again until the tension starts to build again. Then they hit you again. And then, more gifts, more calm, more love. And it's just that same cycle because, as stated before, the victim, they're like, oh, they're not always like this. They just get angry and I probably deserve it. I shouldn't have made them angry. And, it takes a lot of effort and it takes a lot of support to break the cycle that is domestic violence. And in Black relationships, especially, like in, Black relationships, it'll take a lot because Black people are already labeled as like aggressive and angry, and for like a lot of people don't feel safe getting into relationships because they don't know what could happen in the relationship. And so, there are a lot of hotlines out there. There's a whole Domestic Violence Awareness Month, which is October, and the color is purple. So there's usually a Thursday in October where people wear purple to bring awareness to it. And yeah, so that's how Cynnia sees it. Thanks for tuning in.